Hey everyone, Dan here. Before we get into it, if you enjoy these videos, please hit the like and subscribe button. It helps lots. And also keep in mind that these are my own thoughts, opinions, and ideas. These are not meant to be, nor should you take them as investment or trading advice in any way, shape, or form. Do your own due diligence, put in the work for yourself, and make your decisions based on that. Enjoy. Alright folks, here we are on Monday, February 21st. Wanted to take a look at SPY, QQQ, IWM, and UVXY to get a sense of what we could be looking for in the days ahead, in the trading week, the short trading week that we have here, and just sort of recapture where we are in the vast scheme of things. So here on SPY, we're going to start on the weekly. As a refresher, we were in this long-term up channel here since about April of 2020, fell out around January 21st or the week of January 21st, and have been out ever since, just kind of batting around between these zones. Now, I still think that these zones are pretty much in play. I think that this bounce zone is what needs to hold here, this 436 down to 433 is really what the bulls need to hold, and if it can't, then the next level it would need to hold to not incur more bearish pressure would be 427 down to about 422. If it can't hold that, my supposition is that it's coming down to test 414, and if it can't hold that, I would suppose that it's going to come down and likely test 403 to 400. It seems I would be kind of surprised if it came down to 403 and didn't just take that opportunity to actually test the psychological level of 400. So that's why I would lean toward 400 on there. Now on the bullish side of things, what really needs to happen in my mind, and this is sort of evolving, there's like an additional resistance level that's kind of taking shape right around here, right around 444, 445. But what I had originally put in, which is still the longer term case to my mind, is it needs to break this resistance level that exists from like 453 up to about 456. So any bullish movement or any changing 456 from resistance to support, strong bullish sign in my opinion. If it were able to make its way through here, I'm not saying it could do this in the next week, but down the line, if it were to make its way through here, come up and then do a retest and then bounce off, that to me really strong bullish signal that it could be sending there. But first things first, we have to see where this pans out. We have to see if it's going to kind of consolidate in this level for a while, or if it wants to test any of these zones down below. QQQ is going to look relatively similar. Same kind of setup. Bouncing, the thing on QQQ to my mind is it's already testing more expansively this lower purple bounce zone. As you see here on SPY, it's still situated right at this upper bounce zone. So QQQ already suffering more, which I'm sure you are aware of by now, that the tech sector, growth stocks, what have you, are taking a lot of the brunt of the sell-off for the time being. But if it can't hold this zone, which I have from about 342 down to say 334, can't hold that, to my mind, 327 and 320 are potentially inbound for attempts to bounce. And if it can't hold there, I mean, I would really be looking at something probably around 310. Like, I think then we probably get into very psychological levels. If it can't hold 320, probably get into very psychological levels of, can it hold 315? Can it hold 310, 305, 300? And to be honest, if it can't hold 310, I would have a really hard time supposing that it would hold 305 and not just go for that full-on test of 300. So we'll have to see. To the upside, if it is able to get any motion going, I expect strong resistance to hit right around 364 up to about 370, and any strong movement or any retesting of 370 and confirming it as support. Too much going on in the geopolitical spectrum today. I have a report in my head. If it is able to switch 370 from resistance to support, that to me would be strong bullish signal. that maybe things are sort of turning around. IWM, definitely a different look than SPY and QQQ. Again, it had spent about all of the year in this range, fell out, and is now coming back and trying to test. Now, as you see, really indecisive candle here about 4 weeks ago. And then the remaining 3 weeks, while it has been inching up, making slightly higher lows, it's also started to make some lower highs, right, from last week to this week, and these like spinny tops, like these very, very strong top wicks and very weak low wicks, don't indicate to me that there's a ton of strong buying pressure beyond maybe some sort of fleeting motion that comes in that sort of drives this initially. But that said, we'll put in a little bit of a triangle here to see what may happen in any tests of these lower highs and higher lows. We have 209.05 in here. Get as close as we can, as close as the app will let us, and we'll see what it does if it's able to continue to move within this tight, already pretty tight range. If it's able to put in, who knows, maybe 3 more weeks of candles in there would be pretty tight. We'll see if it's able to continue to do that and sort of what comes. And even in the interim, if it falls out strong to the bottom or breaks out strong to the top, that could be kind of the breakout motion in either direction for it. UVXY, to zoom in on this baby here, but as you see, like relatively indecisive candle, but more pressure toward the upside than the downside. That the downside wick getting quote unquote bought up pretty quickly, if you will, aka any resistance to fear in the market right now is not long lasting. So these relatively brief relieves in fear are not holding for very long. Now we do have this long-term downtrend resistance that I have in here, that stretches back here, and so it'd be coming up there. Switch this back to the weekly, coming up there potentially to test it this week again. It got pretty close last week, but you see it has wicked off several times. If we count last week, that would be 4 times, but if not thrice, we say. And if it breaks to the upside there, then certainly there's going to be a lot of pain in the markets, and that would just be sort of like the symptom of the pain in the market. It would probably be pretty clear what's maybe causing that pain or the selling off in the market, be it the tapering, the rate hikes / inflation concerns, or geopolitical concerns across the globe. All right, folks, I'm anticipating another wild one, regardless of what direction. I would be surprised if we don't have another wild 6 weeks in front of us. It might slightly ebb and flow, but I would guess on balance, it's going to be relatively volatile. It can be very good for short-term traders who can exploit that volatility to their benefits. And otherwise, keep your risk in order and manage it as best you can and in ways that align well with what it is that you're trying to accomplish. All right, folks, I hope that you have a good trading week ahead. And as always, I appreciate you watching, and I will see you in the next video.